Hey everyone, welcome back to Peak Life. As we gear up for the new year, 2025, I want to share with you the ultimate blueprint for setting goals that actually stick. As an engineer, I spent years setting ambitious goals and learning through trial and error of what works and what doesn't. Sometimes I've crushed those goals, and other times I've missed the mark. But every time I've learned something valuable about the process of what it takes to set good goals that you can stick with and achieve. In my personal life, I've taken the same approach. From fitness challenges like my 45 medium that I did last January, which you can see up here, to hitting career milestones, running half marathons, and building, most important, daily habits that make my life better and something that I'm proud of. These experiences have shown me the power of having a clear blueprint for setting goals. So if you're tired of setting New Year's resolutions that always fade by February, or creating goals that just don't give the results that you hope for, well then this video is for you. In this video, I'll give you a step-by-step framework to set meaningful and achievable goals in 2025. Ones that will keep you motivated, not just in January, but all year long. So if you're ready to make this next year the best one yet, let's dive in. First up, I want to talk about why most goals fail. Most goals fail because they're either too vague, too ambitious, or simply don't align with your daily actions. How many times have you set a goal like be healthier, save more money, without having a clear plan of what that means? It's no wonder we lose motivation. As Alex Hormozi puts it, people don't fail because their goals are too big. They fail because their systems are too small. And James Clear, in Atomic Habits, emphasizes that you don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to your level of systems. This means having great goals isn't enough. You need the right processes and the right habits to support them. Goals that don't fail, ones that you actually achieve, are always tied to systems that make success inevitable. Think of these systems as the engine that powers your goals, ensuring that you keep on progressing even on the days that your motivation runs low. So now you might be asking, we know that systems are important. How do we actually start implementing that? Well, first up, we have to start with your vision. Before you dive into your specific goals, take some time to imagine what your ideal 2025 looks like. What does success mean to you? What kind of person do you want to be at the end of this year? This isn't just fluff, and this isn't a waste of time. It's about aligning your goals with the bigger picture of who you want to become. And as John Doerr says, in Measure What Matters, a clear vision gives your goals purpose. For instance, instead of just saying, I want to be healthier, try to imagine what that means. Imagine yourself as strong, able to deadlift twice your body weight, being energetic, instead of crashing after work, having that energy to progress in your life, and capable. No matter what people invite you to go do, you know that you'll be able to tackle it. That to me is healthy. And continue imagining what this looks like. What activities do you have to do to become healthy? And what activities do you have to do to maintain that health? What habits would define your daily routine? This clarity provides the motivation and direction you need to make actually meaningful change. For example, my vision for 2025 is to be fitter, smarter, and more connected. This helps me focus on my health and well-being, constantly learning new things, and developing strong relationships with others. This clear vision creates alignment so that when I'm setting more key goals, either monthly or quarterly, I have a framework that I can apply to make sure that they align with who I want to become this year. Next up, we have using SMART goals. You need to turn your vision into SMART goals. And if you're not familiar with the term, SMART goals is an acronym for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. This framework helps take arbitrary, big, unclear goals into something that is much more clear and focused. For example, instead of saying get fit, try following a specific diet and working out 5 days a week to lose 10 pounds by June. By doing this, you have something that you track with your daily measurables so that you know that these leading indicators will help get you to the ultimate outcome that you desire. The beauty of SMART goals is that it eliminates the guesswork. A goal like work out more leaves too much to the imagination. What does working out more mean? How can you hold yourself to that? But instead, complete 30 workouts this month is something actionable and measurable so that you know exactly if you hit it or you miss it. One thing with setting goals is that less is often more. And if you're too vague about your time frame, it can decrease motivation. So what I like to do is break my overall vision into a few specific goals for the year, and then to take those and break them into goals for the quarter, which when achieved will ultimately help you towards achieving your vision for the year. And then you can take those quarterly goals and break them down into 3 to 5 main goals for every month. One thing I recommend is picking a few of the key pillars in your life. Things like health, relationship, career, spirituality, or anything else that's key to you. And then make sure that you have some balance in it. For most people, putting all your eggs in one pillar will leave you feeling too wrecked in everything else. And remember, your goals should stretch you. They should stretch you to become better, but they should also be realistic. Aim for progress, not perfection. And then once you have your SMART goals, you want to break them down into milestones. Milestones are like checkpoints that bridge the gap between where you are now and where you want to be. For example, if your goal is to have $10,000 of cash saved by the end of the year, you can break that down into milestones of saving $2,500 every quarter. By breaking a larger goal into smaller milestones, you're able to stay motivated and see when you're on track. Because what happens when you don't? When you just have a goal throughout the entire year without milestones, it's too easy to procrastinate. With the example of saving money, if you don't break it down to know that you're on track every quarter and what that means to save every week, then it's too easy to get to the end of the year and realize that you're so far off you'll never achieve it. But instead, you can see, okay, I didn't quite hit it this quarter, so that means I need to start off saving more to overachieve what I need to for this next quarter to make up for the loss of the last one. These milestones also give you a sense of purpose. By seeing your progress and accomplishments along the way, it's like rolling a snowball down the hill. You gain more and more motivation, and the more progress you see, the bigger that snowball gets and the easier it is to keep rolling. Another example is I want to run a full marathon this year. So if I say I'm going to do that in September, I can break that down into milestones. By say having a 2-hour half marathon in the summer, maybe a 2-hour and 15 half marathon in the spring, and then break that down even further to how many 10Ks I have to run and what my training plan looks like. The key to milestones is just like goals. Make them specific and on a timeline. When you do this, they act as stepping stones that help bridge you closer towards your ultimate goal. Moving on, we have to align your goals with your daily habits. And when you do this, this is where the magic happens. This is where it transitions from feeling like a chore, just something a part of your routine that you don't even have to think about. Goals set the destination of where you're going, but habits are ultimately the vehicle that gets you there. And as James Clear explains in his great book Atomic Habits, your small consistent actions compound over time. And that compounding is what builds the momentum to achieve more than you ever thought was possible. Ask yourself, what habits do I need this next year to achieve my goals? If you set a goal of reading 24 books in the year, then just break that down into a daily habit. How many minutes of reading do you need every day to achieve that? Maybe it's only 10, or maybe it's 15 or 20 minutes. But by doing this, you can create the habit so it doesn't end up feeling like a big push of having to read an entire book in one sitting. And another example, if your goal is to lose 10 pounds by June, then just break that one down into daily habits of sticking to your meal plan, getting your 8 hours of sleep at night, and achieving 10,000 steps a day. Your habits should align with your most important goals, but also be simple enough that you can do them every single day. And one thing that gets most people is they come off too hot. They have all this motivation in January, however, it's not sustainable. So instead, I recommend starting small and just keeping consistent, because that consistency compounds. It's way better to do that than to go all out in January just to stop in February. And then track your outcomes and your inputs and keep on refining it. See if these daily habits actually help progress you towards that goal. And if you notice you're completely missing them, or on the other hand, you're doing them every day, but you're not seeing the results, that's when it's time to readjust. And further on that, you need to track your progress. Tracking is what keeps you accountable and doing what you said you would do. I like to do this in a journal where every month I set out what my key performance indicators are, what habits I need to track, and I do that every single morning. Things like, what are my weight? Did I work out? Did I do cardio? Did I stretch? Did I read? Did I connect with someone? And things like that. Once you set out this journal, it's super easy and fast to fill it out. But as I've noticed this last year, on the months that I don't do that, I have nothing to look back on, and I miss that sense of accomplishment. By reviewing these metrics regularly, I can spot trends, either positive or negative. Doing that, I can see what's working and what's not, which allows me to double down more on the things that work and help eliminate the things that don't. But a key here is to remember that progress isn't always linear, and that's okay. Sometimes things take a whole bunch of work up front. It's a big heavy lift and you don't see any results for maybe a month or even 2 months. An example of that is YouTube. I've posted I think 100 videos and I'm just starting to see traction now. So that doesn't mean that what I was doing isn't working. It just means that it takes a lot of time to gain that momentum. And the same thing can be said about weight loss. You might not see immediate weight loss when you're following a diet plan, and that's because your body wants to keep at homeostasis. But if you know that you're sticking to your diet, you're getting regular exercise and good sleep, you know you're doing the things that will lead you there. So don't give up before you give it enough time to see results. So there you have it, the ultimate blueprint for setting and achieving goals this next year. I would love to hear from you guys. What big goals are you trying to achieve? And what are your milestones to do that? If you have any other advice for the community, please share it down in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, check out my other ones all about making 2025 the best year yet. We'll see you there.